Hey there folks, I'm Serious JG, and welcome back to Let's Play Romance of the Three Kingdoms 12 Hero Mode, The Might of the Wei. This may seem like an odd starting point. Cao Cao army has conquered Puyang, which we ruled for the duration of the previous video. Well, funny thing happened. I decided to I was goofing off. I didn't have time to record a video, but I felt like playing the game. So I went ahead and, attacked Puyang, which is what I had promised. Not Puyang. I attacked our next objective, which is what I had promised to do at the beginning of this video. And I won rather handily a battle outside of the city and was marching on to clearly take the city. And I got a message saying that, unfortunately, you have run out of time to complete this objective, and it kicked me back to the menu. And I realized, I have to make this very clear. As I'm recording this video, I just made public the first of the two-part Diao Chan hero mode. So anybody who's been commenting and advising and been like, oh, JG, you're running out of time, you have to hurry, or it'll be so funny when JG runs out of time. I didn't see any comments on this. Episode 3 of this hero mode is being recorded before any of the previous ones have been out there for the public consumption. So, yeah, I guess I didn't realize. I knew there was an overall time limit to complete the final objective, but I didn't realize I was cutting it so close on that one. So I did that battle twice. There's no way for me to win any faster than I did. Literally, the city is completely undefended, and Cao Cao's troops are marching towards it, and time runs out every time. So rather than throw out the footage I'd already shot, which included my usual hilarious and insightful commentary, and I know I went back to check the sound levels and caught myself saying, Cao Ren needs our help. Cao Ren needs a lot of help. Haha, zany. Yeah, so I figured I would just start from us having Puyang and try to be much faster this time. So, Zhang Yan army fell. We'll get a little dialogue where Cao Cao puts us in charge of Puyang. And I guess what I'll do is I'll just see, is it even conceivable for us to win by marching out of Puyang without making any improvements first? Or if it gives me an objective, I'll do the bare bones minimum of what they said to do before attacking. Because what I found is, in my off-screening, it's not just Jun Yu's forces marching out of Puyang that we will have access to. Cao Cao, we can request Cao Cao send troops out of whatever his main city is. I don't even remember. And they will actually come and help us. And the two cities marching together will generally outnumber our enemies, and our enemies do not have as good officers. So I was, even if I am marching out with a numerically inferior force, I should still be able to win. And I guess the worst case scenario is, it doesn't seem likely that we would fail unless I march out way too soon. And more than likely what will happen is we'll have a lot of work to do before we're ready to achieve the final objective of this whole thing. But once our final objective is the next objective, I'll have a clear idea of how much time I have to do it, and I won't have to worry about there being, various, sub-objectives you have to complete within a certain amount of time and not being clear on what that is. Zhi Dun was assigned by Cao Cao as governor of Chenliu. With Puyang under control, all that's left in Yan province is G-Bey. Oh, I guess Cao Cao's in charge of Puyang, after all. But yeah, no, it's Zhi Dun and his army will march out of Chenliu. The soldiers are in high spirits after taking Puyang. We should use this opportunity to push forward. What is your opinion on the matter? Oh, I don't remember how I was making him talk. Forgive my humble opinion, but I believe we should improve the culture of Puyang before invading elsewhere. And what is your reasoning? Why do you wish to improve culture? Well, I mean, Cao Cao, you're a freaking poet. You should... With a higher culture, the city will have a chance to develop technologies that will aid in battle. G-Bey can be taken after that. Yeah, I don't remember how it was on camera, but off camera, as I attacked Puyang, we just had soldiers pounding on the gates with their swords. There were no siege weapons. Technologies? Could these be Wolfman Jack technologies, as I float back and forth seductively? This time, we'll adopt Jun Yu's plan to increase Puyang's culture. Get started. Zhi Dun. I have no objections. He listens to advisors new and old. His leadership is marvelous. Perhaps Cao Cao is the one Billy got. Increasing the culture of the city brings a number of different benefits. Sometimes you can unlock city tech. Having city tech brings advantages such as acquiring weapons and raising the maximum domestic levels. Raise the culture of Puyang to 3000 to unlock city tech. So the city appears to be on fire, which is unfortunate. Revenue is negative, but we've got a lot of gold in reserve. Meanwhile, our first city, Cao Cao's, revenue was also negative, and we didn't have a lot of gold in reserve. So even during, I've played through trying to get there very quickly, but Cao Cao wanted to hire some people, so I took a couple of turns before. I took the village that I took according to the plot. Then I took another village, had Guojia trying to hire people. Did one or two real basic things just to give Cao Cao a chance to raise his rapport and order certain things. And that was all well and good, except that eventually reached a point where there was not enough gold to pay the officers, and I was getting a message that says Junyu's impartiality skill has raised officer loyalty. But the fact that they're not being paid means they're pretty pissed. So when we do confirm topic, we see our overall final objective is to defeat Lu Bu's army, but our current objective, to be completed by 194 AD, June 30, is raise Puyang's culture and gain a city technology. But I think 194 AD was also the time limit to take the city of Puyang, so I'm afraid 194 AD might be our overall time limit. So remember that date and see if it changes when we raise the culture level. Culture level is pretty close to being where it needs to be right now, actually. So if I were to do culture, it's at 278. Raising it by 200 would actually be enough. But if I raise it by 120 and someone else raises it by 120, that's 240. That's enough. Surprised Guojia doesn't have any culture skills. Meanwhile, we got Sexy 69 rapport with Cao Cao. And we have a paintbrush, so we can do calligraphy. We do the Confucian Hall. 3-shift system has 90% success rate. Do I feel like it's got a higher bonus too? Do we feel like taking the chance? 10% chance of just outright failure. I want to get 120 something culture. So how big of a difference? This could get it done in 3. Let's raise our rapport with Cao Cao again if possible. Cao Cao's going to help us out. He's going to write some poems. They won't be seditious because right now he does represent authority. Don't you think it would be a good idea to hire Junyu? He's like my nephew or something, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely, we should. I think Junyu is supposed to be related to Junyu. And I'm not trying to be cute. I'm sure there's a difference in how you pronounce the names. Chinese is a tonal language, so it might have to do with like your actual tone. But no, I am not going to be doing a good job of making their names sound different. We've lost our Sexy 69 rapport. Is that who I think it is? I know your face. What a pleasure to meet you. I am jealous of your relationship with my husband. Speaking with Bianchi about work has increased their rapport. Yeah, that is Cao Cao's wife. It would be a good idea to hire Cheng Yu. I think you're right. I mean, I'm trying to get right on the culture thing, or I would have been doing this. Make it so. We just about maxed out our... We've hired Junyu. We just about maxed out our rapport with Cao Cao without going on a special quest. And somebody in the comments suggested, and I think they're right, that the friendship quests may not be available in hero mode unless it's part of the hero mode to actually do it. He wants to hire everyone in the world. He wants to hire Zhang Yan, the guy that we just defeated, which is, he might be a halfway decent war general. He wasn't all that impressive, but eventually Cao Cao is going to have enough cities that he just needs people who are mediocre or above average at war, because he can't possibly mobilize all the troops he needs under just the Ji House. So we've got our best rapport we can with Cao Cao, and he still wants to hire more people. So there's really no point in using Cao Cao as a co-op officer. It'll increase our results, but the main reasons I like using co-op officers is to increase rapport. Because presumably if you're not using them for co-op, they could be doing something else. Now only a certain number of officers can actually be taking on missions at a time in this game, which is why I had warned that it could potentially be bad to have 1 million created officers all in Lu Bu's force when we're ready for the main story mode. But that just means that when you're looking for co-op officers to help, that you need to try to grab ones that you don't think are the very, very best, who are already going to be assigned by the city ruler to do something. But, you know, if you grab the very best officers as your co-op helpers, then presumably the next person down the list will get an assignment to do something. So Sima Yang needs help with culture, but frankly, I've got my own culture that I need to get going here. And Zhihao Dun want to have an effect, but he's a good guy to have good rapport with. Although I thought he was in another city. Yeah, I can't help with this. I'm actually running another city right now. Zhang Yang has been hired. Okay. I was wondering if we would hire that weird-looking dude, but I guess we are going to. I feel a little bad now because I'm realizing I think I ended the last video with a promise that we would go straight into combat. So I'm very much hoping that we can get going on that before we get too much farther here. What is he doing? Investigating. I guess he's looking for more officers. He's hungry for talent. And he's got his wife helping him search the city. Yeah, that's some bullshit. He says, oh, I'm going to go investigate the city with my wife. They're going off someplace to have lunch. I can't fault Cao Cao for wanting to spend a little time with his wife, but... Well, I had a few people to help me. Well, I'd love to help you, but I thought you were helping Cao Cao with something. So now we'll do the 100% success rate one because... And we'll try to grab somebody who's actually in this city. Although I can't tell what city they're in. Maybe Zhihao Dun is here. Yeah, I guess he is. He's going to help us with culture, even though he should be out doing other stuff. Is that who I think it is? I know your face. Would you like some tobacco? And an enormous beard? I'm trying to get rid of mine. Was it Sima Lang that I put in charge of culture with my other orders? I guess it was. I see. This is a new invention. My rapport with Zhihao Dun has gone up. We've got enough culture at this point. So I can just go complete the mission. I won't get a reward specifically. But we've achieved the 3,000 in culture that the game wanted us to get, I thought. Raise Puyang's culture and gain a city technology. Okay. Well, how do I actually look at them and see what they do? Switch info? Culture's at 309. Tech is training upgrades, commercial upgrades. And then you go to officers. So I don't really know how you see what you get at what level of Wolfman Jack technology. I guess I'll keep poking at culture, and maybe it's just going to take it a certain passage of time before it clicks over. Alright, well. Start working on Xi Yuan here. Xi Yuan's got better things to do, like getting killed by Huang Zhang. Suma Lang is on a mission from God. Now it's springtime, and young men's thoughts turn to, young men's fancies turn to thoughts of love, and hopefully we'll get our new city technology. Puyang is increasing culture enough to build mathematics hall. Puyang has acquired the city tech siege tower research. Don't you think it would be a good idea to hire Wang Can? Wang cannot be of service to us. No, we'll hire him. A report, sire. G-Bey has fallen to the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Liu Dai was killed in battle. Damn. I thought it was nothing but a small riot and sent Liu Dai to handle that. It is worse than I thought. Before we can expand territory, we have to quell these revolts. This is a prime opportunity, my lord. Opportunity? What do you mean by that? Well, my lord, an opportunity is part of the risk, threat, opportunity, whatever the other thing is. Analysis, like a SWOT analysis. Never mind. I'm trying to think back to grad school business courses. I can't remember half the fucking buzzwords. Opportunity? What do you mean by that? It's an opportunity to use Six Sigma to get leaner. They are a strong force, but without a leader. When taking control of G-Bey, we could bring them into our ranks. It would be difficult to convince them, but if successful, it would bolster our strength significantly. Interesting idea. Prepare the troops. We shall follow through with this idea. Sally forth! But how do you intend to... Don't worry, leave that to me. Now, weren't you telling me your idea? Now I've just suddenly got you acting all confused. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Sorry, no, I've got a plan. And that's as hot as my pants. Sorry, it's Lord Flashheart here. Cao Cao has become Lord Flashheart. Yeah, look it up. Defeat the Yellow Turban Rebellion and seize control of G-Bey. Liu Dai army fell. Yep, so the date hasn't changed, which means I wasn't even coming fucking close. If 194 AD June 30 you have to defeat Lu Bu's army, then that means that we were way behind. So I gotta march on G-Bey right away because I got another military objective to achieve after this before 194 AD hits. It's not like I didn't have staggered due dates at all. It's just that I had achieved probably objective 3 of 4. I'm hoping there's only one objective after this, and ran out of time. So it's not just that it's not that I had little sub-objectives with different time limits on them. It's that the overall time limit for the entire objective hit, and I was still dicking around with like the second thing. So bear that in mind in hero mode, folks. You don't have time to research the shit that they don't specifically tell you you need to research. So I'm feeling a little bad about the fact that I'm in the middle of this culture thing here. Wang Kan has been hired. He wants my nephew to hire that guy, and I guess we'll let that happen. So we increased culture, but does not matter. We don't have time to finish this. Let us save our game. I don't think if we march into battle, we will not be punished for failing to meet our objective. If we actually give up on a mission that we had said we would accomplish, and we actually go tell Cao Cao, hey, we're not going to finish that, in order to give ourselves a new objective, we'll lose rapport and deeds and shit like that. If we just deploy, they'll all get canceled automatically, and we won't be penalized. So that is what we actually want to do here. Which is too bad, because I think some of the things that I did before, when I was taking my time and not realizing how little time we had to do it, is trained our troops up to be better. So this will not be as overwhelming a raffle stomp as it was when I off-screened this. Or I couldn't even conceive of losing. I wiped them out so easily and quickly. This time it could be a little bit trickier, but I still think it should be relatively straightforward. After all, the ruler of G-Bey is Y Turban boss. It's not like an officer with some badass stats. So time has come. Give word to move out and capture G-Bey. Very well. Begin preparations at once. So we will form a unit here. Yeah, geez, only 2 units marching out for us. This is definitely smaller than. This is definitely a smaller group than I marched out with before. Because we will end up engaging them before the reinforcements arrive. And the reinforcements do not have... yeah, the Xihaos aren't even going to be in here because they're in our main city. This will definitely be trickier. Ooh, those 2 units don't even have enough. Well, hold on. 17,000, 63,000. Yeah, presuming that we knock down their troop count by meeting them in battle in the field and... yeah, it's going to be significantly more dangerous than when I off-screened this and it was just a cakewalk. Troops are weaker and much smaller in number. So we're outnumbered almost 4-1 here. What happens when you defy me? I trust all my arms to you. May your command bring great victory. No problem, boss. So yeah, we are outnumbered between 3 and 4-1. When our reinforcements arrive, we'll be in much better stead. But they are made up of like Yellow Turban bosses and generic Yellow Turban rebels. So we should punch pretty hard against them, but obviously we don't have a lot of flexibility in our tactics because they attack in multiple directions. We pretty much can't do anything about it. So we'll just come straight through the middle here in the hopes that that they don't split up and start taking out our bases, and that our reinforcements will arrive before they can overwhelm us. But no, if I had the time, I would definitely have built up my forces a lot more before attacking. The other thing to bear in mind here is that they will have the capacity to try to surround us. So there we go. Oh no, that's their reinforcements. Fuck. So now they've got us outnumbered more than 4-1. I wonder if I shouldn't actually be trying to defend this base until my reinforcements get here. Yeah, because my morale is going to get knocked down if they start defeating these camps. So this is unfortunate. Oh no, they're going after my main base. Xiahao Dun and Yellow Turban Rebel have begun a duel. Would you like to watch? Yeah, this might be fun. Get out of my way if you want to live. Do you actually think you could beat me? I do not think Xiahao Dun will have too much trouble with this duel. Yeah, he won on the first pass. Choose your opponent better next time. I got 2 eyes to see you with, buddy. I don't even need that many. So their morale has gone down. I just have to really hope that that my reinforcements arrive before they take out my main camp. Are you not impressed, Yellow Turban Rebel? Could just go straight after their commander and hope for the best. I don't know, should I go after their commander and hope I can defeat them before these guys can defeat my base? I don't know how far away my reinforcements are. But I did take out that one Yellow Turban pretty quickly. No, Cao Cao, don't get distracted. We don't have time to worry about that. Oh good, Cao Hong is here, so we just won. There was some question of whether we were going to win. That question is now completely answered. We're going to win. So we will have you three attack this hapless unit. You guys... Wait a minute, what the heck? I got very confused there. Well, I might be able to take this guy out before the other Yellow Turbans even get here to back him up. Especially if I use the old daring command. Oh man, especially if this guy gets turned back here, like stupidly. I'm not bothering to get into like the details of ordering individual guys to try to get in circle and actions and stuff, because this is just going to be too easy. The Yellow Turbans have gotten confused about who they should be protecting here. So we wiped out the commander's unit, so I guess that means... Well, we haven't won. I wasn't sure if that would mean automatic victory or not. I guess it doesn't. So we'll have to wipe out the rest, but now their morale's completely crapped out. Not to mention I get daring command again. I guess because of my high morale? We must do something. This is our moment to shine. Jian Wei is going to greatly increase attack and defense, and lower enemy morale. So I was a little worried about this, but just a little. But yeah, this is a complete rout. Just based on the fact that I didn't actually engage the Yellow Turbans as quickly. I gave them a little bit more opportunity to move around on their own, and they did not do smart things with that opportunity. They kind of got turned around and reacted to me, and just wasn't good. So Cao Cao, and this keeps happening. When I off-screened it, Junyu always gets a shitty deeds rank, and it's because he's commanding an archer unit. The spear units and the horse units that actually go in and battle hand-to-hand always get better, because they're almost always the one to score killing blows against other units. Your command led us to victory. Well done. For your outstanding work, you've been awarded 300 gold. I ranked first because everyone else just isn't as good as me. These feelings of triumph shall be put into song. Just wait, next time I'll give my all. This time I just didn't give a crap. Thank you for your aid. Pray the next battle goes just as well. And Jihao Dun won a duel, which I guess gives him special powers of awesomeness. And that is gonna... I'll go ahead and call it a video there. So we didn't start off with an attack as I'd promised, because I, realized that we'd run out of time. But we did get an attack in this video. And next time we will take over G-Bey and hopefully jump straight to the final objective for this scenario, because otherwise I don't know how much faster I can be doing this. I spent just a little time doing domestic stuff, very little time doing domestic stuff before attacking Puyang. So I could trim a little time there, but boy, they don't give you a whole lot of breathing room in this one. So next time, hopefully, we'll have enough time to actually get it done right, because I have a feeling when we fight Lu Bu's force, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than fighting like the Black Mountain Bandits and the Yellow Turbans. Lu Bu's unit by itself may be more difficult to take out than like 5 Yellow Turban units. We will see. We will see. See you guys next time.